I think we should rename this chapter to Essential Skills for Shopping at the Walmart. Probably not. It's actually called Estimating Sums and Differences. That sounds really boring. This is, again, a set of skills that personally, I use them all the time. When I go shopping, I am constantly estimating and then adding or subtracting. I love when they say 30% off. What does that mean? In sixth grade, you'll use percents, but I am constantly estimating. I do see a number of young people with their phones out and they're calculating, and I'm thinking, you look like a dingbat, but you won't need to look like a dingbat because you're gonna know how to estimate sums and differences in your head because it's really very, very simple. So basically, we're gonna take the skill that you learned in the last chapter of how to round a decimal. So you're gonna round the decimals and then you're gonna add or subtract. And it's really simple because you're making it simple. Let's use an example. Here's my first example. I'm going to be adding. Now, if I were shopping and I had a couple of items in my basket, I certainly wouldn't stop to add up my decimals because that just takes too much time. And especially these days, you want to be in and out like that. You don't want to be standing around adding stuff and subtracting stuff in the store. You want to get in, get your stuff, calculating in your head as you go, and get out, right? Sure. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add my two decimals, but I'm going to round them to the nearest whole number or to the ones. So to do that, and you will get very quick at this, the better you get. You'll be able to do this in your head. Some of you probably already can. So if I'm going to round to the nearest whole number, there's my nearest whole number, the first one. Go over to the second one. It's an 8, so it's way more than 5. So this $2.84 is going to round up to the nearest 3. Now you may notice there's no dollar sign here. Well, it doesn't matter. In my head, there's a dollar sign. Decimals mean money to me. And sometimes if you're struggling with decimals, if you put that in your head and think about it as money, for some reason, it seems so much easier. So there's my first one. Next, I'm going to do the same thing with my $3.97. 3 is my whole number. My 9 means I'm rounding up, so my 3 becomes a 4. Now I add them together. 3 and 4, 7. Boom, done, easy. Subtraction works the same way. Here's an example. So we have $7.14. Here's my 7. This time it's a 1, which means I'm rounding down. When I round down, technically it is rounding down, but my whole number stays the same as 7. So why do they call it rounding down? Well, if you look at $7.14, $7 is down from $7.14. So technically you have rounded down. That's why. But next, let's look at the next one. Some kids get this messed up because they think of 5, they get messed up because these are not the same. Is this $5.08? No, it's actually $5.80. And if it helps you to write that 0 in, then do that, because you'll need to do that in a little while, but that's a couple lessons on. You'll get that. Same procedure. Underline the ones, look over to the right, it's 8. That means I'm rounding up in this case. So my 5 becomes a 6, and all of this disappears. Then I just subtract. 7 take away 6 is 1. Pretty easy stuff. It's not hard. And actually, that's why you're doing it. You are rounding the decimals to make the operation mental math. And that's why you do it. Very, very useful skill in today's world of shopping. Okay, so your assignment today will be on page